Yeah, welcome to the channel. This is Naz, and today I'm going to be talking about why you should read The Breaker and what makes it awesome. So we're going to be going about that. We're going to talk about the characters, some of the aspects that makes this stand out among the multitude of webtoons out there that are martial artists and that have some of the similar system that is Miriam. You know what I mean? Somewhat of a revenge story. So all those elements are there, and I'm gonna let you know why out of the other ones, out of the solo leveling, out of why this one is more to your taste. We're gonna talk about that. So let's just get into it. The story is by Jun Gun Jin, and the art is by Park Jin Woo. Sorry that I'm massacring their name. And let's begin. This feels to me like a love letter to the anime genre because in the beginning it resembles both the Great Teacher Onizuka vibe. Sun Chun Woo, the teacher, he's the teacher, the master, and then here is Su Wan, who's the pupil, and it's really this duo that really drives the story. There is another character, third character here, but these two are the ones that really drive the story, and it's the relationship that they have, the dynamic, between the people and the master, and what they learn from one another. Because it's not only teaching, what doesn't go one way, so it explores that. So that's why I think it goes back to that great teacher Onizuka reference, and some of the interactions that he had with his students. Some of that shows through here. Also, it feels also like uh, Ippo. The student feels like Makinicho Ippo. So fighting Ippo, Makina Ippo, Hajime no Ippo. Yeah, Hajime no Ippo and Maka Unuchi. It feel yet it's different. So it's not carbon copies. You can see some of the echoes, some of the influence that this writer, and you could tell that he's a fan of the genre, or the anime genre, and that is why that homage it's showing. So as an avid reader of the anime genre, this was a throwback to some of that, some of that. And I just like the aesthetic, the character. It takes itself, it just progresses through the story in a manner that the pacing to me was it didn't feel like it didn't drag at any moment. Also, the character. So now the progression of the story, the progression of the martial artist in the world of Miriam, is pretty much the go-to right now for a lot of the Miriam-based webtoons. So the person, it's kind of like martial art of kind of mixed with wuxia, is it called? Yeah, it's a genre of Chinese, I think, genre in the Chinese light novels, or where it's kind of this world, this fantasy world, where some of it's similar. So it's already built in. So it does have that resonance or similarity with, if you're going into the isekai genre, you kind of know what's there already. The world building is already some of the setup, but this feels more like ReZero, if I'm using that analogy, in that world. So a lot of carbon copies of the isekai world. This feels like ReZero, in that it just takes the same tropes, the same ideas of Miriam, and just upends it. So that's what I like about that, the Miriam integration into the world, and then also I'm happy that our character was not whisked away to another world, so that world came in. So there is the world of Miriam that's hidden underneath the normal, working day facade of just life. The world of Miriam is just boiling beneath, and these breakers are trying to, thus the word breaker, they're trying to bring a clash about, so that the two worlds come into conflict. And I think that's why the breakers, they want to break the norm that has been, or the yeah, the mafia style underhanded techniques of the Miriam world exists in a structure and in organization. And I think the breakers, or uh, Chan Moon, the nine door dragon, is trying to fight that. And I kind of went around some of the storytelling here. So back to the dynamic between the two, between Chanmun and Siwan. And as a student, Siwan really. So let's talk about Siwan for a minute here. Siwan as a student, so it felt like Makino Ippo, but also just some of the students that were in the care of the great teacher Onizuka. But like the character here, he didn't go OP like within a minute. He didn't become overpowered. He has that whimsical, weakling. He's a wimp. It's an archetype that becomes gradually, slowly finds the courage to fight and get out of that bullying world. You know, that's why I like this character. That's why I like him as a character and as a protagonist. And he later on teaches more. He teaches his teacher actually learns more from the student. In my response, in the first two readings, or the first two volumes here, he learns more, and that's my personal opinion. So the characterizations are great. The dynamics between the characters are awesome. So moving on, the world building, the two world, the Miriam world and our world, and how they are kind of like, you know, Jekyll and Hyde, hidden from sight, from the normal, ordinary perception of the normal folk. You know, some of the going ons are hidden. I like that element and I like that aspect. And also, it didn't just bombard you with information. In the beginning, it was just set up, characters, fighting, bullying, normal things. It deals with a lot of stuff, and I just enjoy it. So, school setting, awesome, throwback or echoes of previous, you know, other arts in the genre of the manga world. The fights, yeah, the fights. Oh my goodness. One thing that I'm always going back to, and kind of like I'll show some of the scenes, some of the exaggerations, the art, and the portrayal of pretty much the actions, what's going on, the events, and the throttle. It feels like riding a motorcycle, going through different curves and waves, and it's just bombarded. And look at this, the nine moon dragon. There's a reason why we call him the Nine Moon Dragon. This man here is a beast, as a master, as a pupil, and also he's flawed. I'm going back to him as a character. Also, flawed characters. There's just a multitude of them in here. There's no good guy, bad guy. You're gonna just all of them. You're gonna love some. You're gonna hate some. That's the way it's supposed to be, and I like that. So in this world, due for a reread. It's macho-ness, okay? John Woo movies, so, you know, with the cigars and just you got this and cigars. A bad action film back, you know, the 1980s kung fu flicks. This is just that, all that in one package. So just a kind of a summary of what I was talking about and why I'm pushing The Breaker to folks. So go out there, check it out. If you haven't checked out The Breaker, please go check it out. It's awesome. Peace.